Well, let's do it. Best division behind
East Coast.
AFC North.
It's close.
Very close.
East Coast is better than the West Coast.
I'd like to welcome y'all to the LK Sport Podcast, number 57. This is 8 of 8. We've done all the divisions now. This is the last one, the AFC East. Tune in, man. We did a lot of work on these, like all 8 of these. We gave you everything from additions, free agency, draft. Gave you a little nitpick of fantasy, strength of schedule, offensive line, PFF rankings from last year, things to look forward to this year. And I really, really hope y'all appreciate every single one that we did and go through. If you just go listen to your favorite team, I appreciate that as well. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, watch us on YouTube at LK Pods. Tune into the CST project that I got going on that is going to grow rapidly. You already know I got G Money with me. This is the last 8 of 8. This is episode 57. We still got the prediction pod, fantasy football pod, and hopefully we'll get us a mock draft pod in there soon. But this is it, man. This has been fun.
Yeah, football season is here. I mean, now we've had a game now. There's been
Hall of Fame game.
There's some games Thursday this week. There's a couple games coming up this week. So, yeah, we are close.
Let's do it, man.
All right,
let's do it. New York Jets.
So yeah, I would say a good candidate for last the first. But there's always one. There's always one every year with some of the things. I mean, we'll talk more about that again later. But so the Jets were 7-10 last year. Rob Saleh is still the head coach. They brought in a new offensive coordinator to go with a new quarterback, Paul Hackett. Who did the worst coaching job in the history of the NFL last year at the Broncos, but I think he's a better offensive coordinator than he is a head coach. But this Jets offense last year, they were 29th in points at 17.4, 25 in total offense, 15th in passing, 26th in rushing. But on the defensive side of the ball, they were 5th in total D, 4th in points at 18.6, 3rd versus the pass, 16th versus the rush, 7th in sacks, and they were 4th worst in turnover differential at -7. But I think we both agree this is a little bit of a different team, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
Very true. Let's start with it. Aaron Rodgers is the new quarterback for the New York Jets. No more Zach Wilson. Man. For sure, man. He brought over some Louis luggage, as in Deion said. He brought some luggage with him, and they Louis. He brought Randall Cobb with him, Alan Lazard with him. You added Mecole Hardman to already a decent, very good, I should say, Garrett Wilson. So that depth chart looks better. You got Brees in that backfield, but on the defensive side, they re-signed Quincy Williams. When they got Chuck Clark, but he got injured, so they had to replace him as well. They got the 26th strength of schedule, being that they played the Buffalo twice, Miami twice. And I think New England, we're gonna give them a little. We're gonna rough them up because we always seem to play the Jets very well. They got 23rd ranked offensive line, so there might be some concern holding up Aaron Rodgers. He don't move as well as he did, 10 years ago, but he did win MVP 2 years ago. So who knows what he's still capable of? He says he's happy.
2 and 3 years ago.
Yeah, so he says he's very happy right now. He loves what's going on in New York. He thinks they really have a chance. So we're gonna see what they bring to the table and see what happens because, and a good veteran quarterback that can sometimes mask up an offensive line a little bit too. Very true. With quick releases, knowing where he's going with the ball before the snap, reading coverages and things of that nature. Aaron Rodgers is gonna bring a lot to this team. He's most definitely bringing a lot of confidence to this team. Even Zach Wilson, the backup quarterback, got a little confidence now that he's there. As I look at this depth chart, you got Aaron Rodgers, Brees Hall, Michael Carter, got Garrett Wilson, Mecole Hardman, Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard, Corey Davis, and they got a lot of they hyping up Jason Brownlee. I went and picked him up in my dynasty league, so we're gonna see what he's gonna do. Got Tyler Conklin there, CJ Uzomah. He's that what's the kid? Well, he's not a kid, a grown man that he loved. Mercedes Lewis. That's just Mercedes Lewis this year. These guys are getting in the red zone. That he throw big body guys. This defense still decent. Quentin Williams.
Decent.
Yeah, that's the word I want to use because they in my division. Quentin Williams.
Yeah, now we're going to hear LK's biases come out a little bit now.
Williams, Sauce Gardner, Joey Whitehead, Amos, DJ Reed. Like I said, this team.
Yeah,
this
just decent guys.
Defense is good. Okay, you got me. This defense is good. They're going to be good this year. They're going to win more than that, over under 9.5. I got them winning over that as well. I don't want to say too much because I just don't hate saying that they're going to be good.
I mean, they're the hype train. I mean, they're going to be on. They're on Hard Knocks, which actually that airs tonight too. I mean, again, the whole thing is sometimes you bring in these guys, things don't always work out. But like, yeah, I mean, this team won 7 games last year with like Zach Wilson playing quarterback, and like, I mean, and they bring in some of these other little pieces. I mean, they got an edge guy in the draft, Will McDonald, who a lot of people like. I mean, I expect this team to be very, very, very.
They got
very
Jermaine
good.
Johnson too. Jermaine Johnson was last year or this year?
That was last year, I think.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Florida
So
State.
I mean, we'll see what happens with Breece Hall coming off the. But something else that we didn't mention here, which I think, to me, it's a foregone conclusion. Is I think this is where Dalvin Cook is going to end up too. Which, if Dalvin Cook ends up here, that's even like another. That just raises his team up another level. Dalvin Cook, Aaron Rodgers, and then I love. I mean, this is partly fantasy, partly real football too, is Garrett Wilson. I mean, the dude won Offensive Rookie of the Year last year with Zach Wilson throwing him the football. So what's going to happen when, I could see this. I could see him like leading the league in touchdown passes. Something like that. So little prediction there maybe that.
Let's turn this up a little bit.
I'm not going to remind everybody who I picked last year to do that, but that's going to be almost.
Fantasy football wise, you already know Garrett Wilson, Breece, especially without Dalvin Cook. Even though Breece had the rough beginning of the season, I think he still will do well for that team with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, he is rosterable this year. That's a word?
Rosterable. Yeah, I think so. It's a fantasy football word for sure. Yeah,
for sure.
He definitely is.
What about Conklin?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, if you're not getting Kelsey, Kittle, like there's going to be some guys. I mean, he had. I can bring it up here because I have it here. He had, what did he have last year? Conklin. He was not. I mean, didn't have like big numbers, but he had 58 catches, 552 yards, and 3 touchdowns again with no quarterback play. So he should be the guy. So I think there's a possibility he's a top 10 tight end this year for sure.
Does Allen Lazard have fantasy?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's a bye week, maybe a flex. I mean, we'll see what this team. If this team is balanced, I don't like him as much. But if they end up deciding to come out and throw the ball a lot, it's certainly he should be drafted. He should definitely be drafted.
Got you.
But we'll see with Breece Hall.
I don't have anything else to say about these guys.
We'll see with Breece Hall, though, because the coming off the knee and stuff. I don't even know if he's going to be ready for the season. That's another reason why I really think that. I think the Jets, my gut tells me the Jets made some kind of deal. They made like a little like handshake thing, and were like, because Dalvin didn't want to come into camp yet. He wanted to these guys don't like coming to camp. So they're like, I'm going to come sign. Let me sign in like a week or two, like after like the first preseason game or something. So I think that may be, or Dalvin's waiting for to see if there's an injury, and then he thinks, if somebody gets hurt in camp or preseason, then he thinks he can get more money. But I expect him to be a Jet.
Out of respect for Allison, I'm not going to say what I want to say about the Jets.
Yes, and Allison also is a Jets fan as well too. So
big time. Let's move on.
And I'm also going. I don't know if I'm taking the over. Also, I don't know if.
Over 9.5. Yeah. I ain't the biggest hater, but I know good football, and they're gonna be good this year. Anything they stay healthy with Sauce Gardner and those guys locking up people in that offense and that defensive line, going to be great as well. It's a recipe for success there in East Rutherford, so
New Jersey.
Yeah, so I'm going over 9.5. Yeah. So let's move on.
To who?
The 6-time Super Bowl champions.
Living in the past.
Bill Belichick. Oh, not from a Cowboys fan. No, you are not.
Did I mention the 5-time Super Bowl champs? Did I mention that? I didn't say that, did I?
We are a dynasty, baby. We
We're a dynasty.
We ran everything from 2004 to say 21, so like 17 years, 22.
Yeah, it was like 20 years. Yeah, I mean
it's impressive. It'll never be done again.
So they were 8-9 last year. All right, on to the Dolphins.
You're right, though. I got a lot to say.
No, so they were 8-9 last year. They missed the playoffs. Bill Belichick is still the head coach. They decided last year, after having 2 defensive coordinators be the offensive coordinators, they brought back Bill O'Brien this year to be an offensive coordinator, which I think was a good move. Because last year, here's their offensive stats. They were 26th in total offense, 17th in points at 21.4, 20th in passing, 24th in rushing. Again, Bill Belichick team, very good on the defensive side of the ball, 9th in total D, 11th in points at 20.4, 17th versus the pass, 7th versus the rush, 4th in sacks, and another, Bill Belichick staple, they were +7 in turnover differential, which was 5th best, even with Mac Jones playing as poorly as he did.
Yes, we did 8-9. To me, we overachieved with the team that we had. We wasn't that great of a team to me, but we did overachieve.
I think every Bill Belichick team overachieves.
Yeah, 8-9 was a decent season for us, and we had a chance to go 9-8 without that Dumbo play we did in Oakland last year. Las Vegas last year. The lateral, and Jacoby threw it, and Chandler Jones scooped and scored, so we had a chance to be
bad play.
9-8, and even sneak into the wild card last year. We really had a chance to do that, and things didn't go our way. We got an over under 7.5 this year. When it got James Robinson for 2 years, and guess what we did? Cut him, got his ass out of Dodge. That's what we do. Juju gave him a 3-year deal, 25 plus some incentives. It came up like 33 or so million. We gave Gesicki a 1-year deal to give us the playbook to Miami, so when we play those guys, we can try to steal one against them. But no, I think we're gonna put him out there and play him double tight end sets. He's gonna take Janu Smith position with Hunter Henry. Some 2 tight end sets, hand it to Ramondre, and all those things with Juju out there. We're going to continue. Jonathan Jones gave him 2 years. Jabril Prepper gave him 2 years. We revised Jalen Mills. We just re-signed Judon, so we're trying to lock up that defense, and we still got Jack Jones. We still got some pieces here that I do like about this New England Patriot team. Our first-round draft pick, Christian Gonzalez, which we like a lot. They saw a lot of shades of a good number 1 DB. They said that Belichick likes him a lot. He's doing great in training camp right now. When they got Keon White from Georgia Tech, who knows? Some people say we went too high to get him. I mean, Belichick has a knack for going up and get guys too soon.
Hey, at least he took the first round pick this year was a guy people heard of. At least he did that correctly this year. Or
and then we got Mapu, another linebacker that said he got great.
Your poop or my poop? What was it?
My poop. How you supposed to say it? Now, he got great ball skills on that defensive side of the ball. Great run stopper. So we'll see what's going on here. We got a 13th ranked offensive line. We have the hardest schedule this year, so that's very concerning for me. We got to get it together. We got to play sound football. I'm not the highest Mac Jones fan. I've been on record saying that Mac Jones is not it for me. I just don't think it. I don't see it. Everybody can't be Tom Brady, and we don't expect people to be Tom Brady. But when you have a quarterback that doesn't move the way that Mac Jones, you have to be very accurate, just like Joey Burrow. And I haven't seen nothing trend that way, period. And I think this is a quote.
Don't be hitting Joey Burrow like that. He's much more mobile than Mac Jones.
You got to have some mobility at quarterback.
So, you want Bailey Zappi? You would rather have Zappi?
He did well for us last year when he was in there. What did he do in them couple games he started?
He played in 4 games. He started 2. He was 2-0.
Exactly.
He threw 5 touchdown passes and 3 interceptions. So his stats are very, when you look at it, like if you break it down per game, very similar to Mac Jones. So we'll see what happens if, sometimes that, the sophomore jinx with Mac Jones. We'll see. He has a real offensive coordinator now. Bill O'Brien he did some nice things in Houston before he had a real quarterback in Deshaun Watson. He won a lot of games with a lot of mediocre quarterbacks. So I would say the book hasn't been written on Mac Jones yet. Do I think he's a superstar? Not necessarily, but I think he can be the middle of a pack kind of starter, especially with the Bill Belichick team. But again, I think the Patriots are they're in for hard times this year with that skill. And they also Devin McCourty, he also retired too. So
yeah, Mac Jones, Ramondre Stevens, Juju Smith, Kendrick Bourne, Keyshawn Booty, Devontae Parker, which we decided to get him a extension. Who knows what's going on there? Still got our rookie he's not a rookie, 1 year guy we drafted last year, Tyquan Thornton. They say he's an absolute scorcher on the field, can run past anyone that you put in front of him. Like I said, our line is still decent. Our defense, we're going to have to hang our head on our defense. We still got Derek Wise, Guy, Judon, Bentley. All these are run stoppers. They play their position. They know coverages. And Belichick going to have them guys in place. I like Jonathan Jones and the Gonzalez piece with Jalen Mills in the slide, Marcus Jones in the slide. I just like what we got going. And we still got Jack Jones, which he filled in before he got in a little trouble last year. He did well at the cornerback position. So I think Belichick going to run the ball with Ramondre, as we've been doing the past year or so. We're going to see what we got. Mac Jones can throw for first downs here and there with Juju, these position guys, and Devontae Parker and Hunter Henry, and see if Kajaki can get open in the red zone. And we're going to see, man, put our hands on this defense. And very tough division with the Bills, Jets, and Dolphins. All these guys on paper are better than us, but we can see when we get between the hedges. I'm thinking about George the Bulldog saying the hedges, but between the lines. We're going to see what we got. Fantasy football-wise, it's a must you draft Ramondre. I think Juju is draftable. I think he's the number one target right now for Mac Jones and that defense. If you can't get none of the top five guys, some people think the Patriots have an excellent defense. We're going to see. So, over on the 7.5, my gut is telling me over.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably just over. Yeah, I mean, I always love the Patriots. The Patriots defense is almost always a good fantasy option. Again, the thing that would worry me this year with the defense is just like how many games is this team winning? Are they going to be behind? And when your defense when your defense is on the field a lot, even when you have good defenses, sometimes that can hurt the overall numbers. But yeah, I love Stevenson too. I think he is he's especially with. Again, we'll see what happens before the season starts if you guys bring in anybody else. But like, there's nobody in that backfield that's taking touches from him. Like real, like you don't get a lot of workhorse backs anymore. But he catches the ball. He should be, even if the Patriots are bad this year, he should be a beast in fantasy wise. He'll get 1,000 yards almost, guaranteed, and he might catch. He might catch like 80, especially if they're losing 80 balls. What did he do last year? He caught, trying to see, I have it right here. Where
80 balls.
He caught 69 passes last year.
Yeah.
So, and they were 8 and 9, if they're worse or around that again and they're losing, he might, he had 88 targets. So it's not unheard of for a back to catch 80 passes, 100 passes. I mean,
our first 10 games, we got Philly at home and Miami at home.
I hope you win that first one.
I'll
be rooting for you. I'll be rooting for the Patriots that week.
We go to New York, Jets, and we go to Dallas. Then we come back home, face New Orleans. I think we can get that one. We go to Las Vegas. I think we can get that one. Buffalo comes to town, depending what we get. They haven't been nice to us. They've been sweeping us the past couple of years. Then we got at Miami, Washington, Indianapolis. So we can be 4-6 in the first 10. And if we upset one of those other guys and be 5-5.
Yeah,
I think you
would sign up for 5-5 right now for sure.
And then that second half at
you might sign up for 4-6 right now.
6-5 at Pittsburgh, which is going to be hard to beat. Denver at Denver, maybe 7. If we split with the Jets, that's 8. That give us that over 7.5.
It's going to be close. That number, that to me, that's like a number I would not bet on this year for sure.
Oh yeah, no.
I don't like to bet against Bill Belichick, but yeah, that's a tough one because that schedule, this division, you can go. But again, you never know. I mean, is there a world where would I be? I mean, I would be surprised if the Patriots won this division, but I wouldn't be shocked. Especially you never know. Maybe things don't work out in New York with Aaron Rodgers. Maybe
you play to win the game. You don't play.
That's what we do.
You play to win the game. And then who knows? I mean, we know Tua. We'll get to that shortly when we get to the Dolphins. But Tua's fragile. He's fragile.
Miami's next.
And then Dolphin, and then even with the Bills, the way Josh Allen, they always have him running the ball. Like you just in the NFL, man, there are always injuries, and you don't wish about anybody, but there's just always injuries, and you just got to hope you can stay healthy.
Patriots going 10-7, man. 10-7, going to the playoff. Fuck it, I'm putting it all on the line.
So who's not going to the playoffs from this division? That would be a question. Because you already have 3 teams from the West.
Bills not making it.
So only 1 team from this division?
3 take it. Bills out. We making it. Let's go Pats. Let's get it done, Belichick. Let's shock the world. 10 wins is a shock.
So I know that this is fluid. So from what we've gone through right now, so that means the North won't have 2 teams in the playoffs, and the South won't have 2 teams in the playoffs. Then
I can't remember. When we give our predictor show, I have everything intact.
I know. That's why I say it's fluid. That's why I'm more just messing around. It's I just happen to remember because we recorded those not that long ago. So
let's move on to Miami Dolphins.
The Dolphins, they were 9-8 last year, lost in the wild card round to the Bills. Mike McDaniel is still the coach there, the crazy little dude. He's an interesting character to say the least.
He is.
I will say, I mean, I will get more into how I feel about the Dolphins, especially later in the prediction show, is that they had one of the more, I mean, the people in the know they had a really. They have a new defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio, who wasn't the best. He didn't work out as head coach, but Vic Fangio is a very, very good defensive coordinator. He is he's an old school guy, but this guy is he's really good. He's a really good defensive coordinator. So that was a big signing. And they need help on the defensive side of the ball. But so last year, offensively, they were 6th in total offense, 4th in passing, 25th in rushing. They were 11th in points per game at 23.4. They were 18th in total D, 24th in points, 23.5, giving up 27th versus the pass, 6th versus the rush, 17th in sacks, and they had tied for the 5th worst turnover differential at -7. So they definitely need to clean that up too. But again, a lot of that Tua wasn't turning the ball over, and then he only played in 11 games last year, 13 games last year, so of the 17.
Yeah, 9-8 last year, all depending on Tua. We all seen the gruesome things that happened to him this past year, and we can all easily argue that if he was healthy last year, that 9-8 can easily be 12-4, 12-5, any of those things. You had Teddy Bridgewater. He came in, got hurt as well. It was just a weird season for the
Skylar Thompson
Dolphins
playing in the playoff game and stuff.
So, I mean, you still got Tyreek, Jalen Waddle. You brought back every running back that you this offseason, Jeff Wilson, Raheem Mostert, and Myles Gaskin. You brought all 3 of those guys back, and you drafted Devon Chaney from Texas A&M with your 3rd-round pick, I think, and your 2nd-round pick because you didn't have a 1st-round pick because you used that in the trade for Jalen Ramsey, which he's injured right now. They got torn meniscus. Said he's gonna miss the first couple months of the season.
He needed the full cleanup, so now they're December.
It's down to
December at the earliest now. So yeah, that's why now people were kind of surprised when they drafted Cam Smith in the 2nd round, but now looking like it
makes sense.
And then obviously you'll get then they brought in Eli Apple.
They brought in Eli, which who
people love to hate
for sure. Also, another big signing, 2-year deal to Mike White. This is insurance policy for
Magic Mike.
Yeah, for Tua Tagovailoa. Ooh, I nailed that one.
There you go. He's Tua to me. He always Tua. Just like Giannis is just Giannis.
Yeah, for sure. And they did a couple things on the defense I like. David Long, Duke Riley, Justin Belter. They re-signed all these guys. Like I said, Jalen Ramsey was a bonus. You already got Xavier Howard there.
Yeah, not to mention, too, that they traded last season at the deadline for Bradley Chubb, who he was banged up. So that's a guy. Now he's there for a full season coming, who and he's played in the Vic Fangio defense before, too. So
correct. They got the 20th ranked offensive line, 30th strength of schedule, which is the 3rd hardest, which, that's just part of this division, playing each one of these teams twice and
playing the Cowboys and stuff. It's tough. I mean, it's hard.
Ooh, that's a breeze. Then you got Christian Wilkin Davis, Jalen Phillips, Jerome Baker, Chubb, Xavier Howard, Elliott Holland, Eli Apple, which is / Jalen Ramsey come December. This team is good. Over under 9.5. On paper, I went through it. I had them going over. Fantasy football wise, y'all regularly got to get Tyreek, Jalen, Tua.
Tyreek's gonna go for 2K this year. He said.
We're gonna see. I like Devin O'Chaney. They say he's gonna be good, but it's hard for me to just jump Raheem Mostert. He did well for them last year when healthy. He's very fast. I think they're gonna hand the ball off some this year. A little play action, Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. So it's kind of hard.
What about Robbie Chosen? How you feel about Robbie Chosen?
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Who is that?
That's Robbie Anderson. He changed his name.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I never knew. I didn't know that. He's on this team. Oh, I see it now. I didn't know who this was till you told me who this was.
Yeah, one of those guys who disappeared and then he changed his name. So let's see. I click on him, right? That's I mean that. But if you click on him, right, that's what that's Robbie. That's Robbie Anderson. Wow. Chosen.
This is in the world, like he walk around, that's his name now.
I think so, but it's funny. I heard the things about this a few weeks back, and I was like, I kept hearing the name, people talking about Robbie, and I'm like, who is this guy that people talking about? And then finally somebody, and I was like, oh, it's Robbie Anderson. It's like,
anyway, exactly. But
I mean, he won't. I mean, he'll catch 10 passes or something like that, probably. But
overall, over. I got him going over 9.5. I think this football team is gonna be long as Tua Tagovailoa. Damn, I couldn't do it twice. Tua Tagovailoa is 10 toes down. This team is going to win football games. This defense is going to be good. They're going to scheme right. This in-division games are going to be tremendous and excellent this year, each and every one, even against my Patriots, because they will scheme very well. That's what Belichick does well, but I'm going back and forward. But Miami Dolphins over 9.5. As long as you got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, it's going to be hard to stop both of those guys.
Yeah, in my predictions, I have them winning 10 games, which I don't. I hate to go over on a team that I'm just over like that. I don't disagree with anything you just said or the talent of this team, but the AFC is. I don't have them as a playoff team though. Winning 10 games, I don't have them as a playoff team. I mean, this division's brutal. The AFC is brutal, and comes down to I don't think I believe. I don't wish things on anybody, but I don't know if I believe that Tua can stay healthy. I mean, that's just. It's a big question mark to me. If he stays healthy all year, this should be a playoff team.
And Tua stay 10 toes,
and this will ruin the formula with all the new teams in and out and everything, which we'll talk about in the preview show. But like, if he stays healthy, I expect this team to be in the playoffs. But I have them just outside. But again, I think they're a really good team.
Very true. Let's move on to the last year division winner, the Buffalo Bills.
The Buffalo Bills, the Bills Mafia.
That's what they call them.
They are crazy. They went 13-3 last year. They played one less game because of the thing that I won't say sad, but the Hamlin thing. But actually now is turned into a great story now. But they lost in the divisional round to the Bengals though. This is just a really good, balanced team. They were 4th in total offense, 8th in passing, 9th in rushing, which is all Josh Allen, but 2nd in points at 28.4. They were 1st in total defense, 4th versus the rush, 9th versus the pass. They gave up the 2nd fewest points. They were 15th in sacks, and they were dead even on turnover differential because this is a team that does force a lot of turnovers, but as good as Josh Allen is, he turns the ball over a lot between fumbles and interceptions. But still, this is a really, really good team.
It is a very good team. They 13-3 last year, as you told us before. When they got Damian Harris, Latavius Murray, they didn't do much on the offensive side. They pretty much stayed pat. When they got some little pieces in Trent, Sherfield, and Deontay Harder. You still got Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis there. That defense, they get A.J. Klein. They went and signed Matt Milano, which is their outstanding linebacker there. They went and signed Jordan Poyer to 2 years. Re-signed their outstanding kicker and Tyler Bass. You got Shaq Lawson, Jordan Phillips there. I mean, this team is still going to be good. They're going to be a top 5 defense again. As long as you got Josh Allen, you're going to be good. You got Stephon Diggs, you're going to be good. You win with your first-round pick. You went and got Dawson Kincaid to go with Dawson Knox. Maybe he takes over for Dawson Knox before the year out. Like we have said on previous pod, usually First-year tight ends don't do well in the league, but we're going to see with Josh Allen at the helm. Who knows what can happen in that offense.
Throw the tight end.
For sure. And then they got a lineman in Torrance from Florida to bolster up their offensive line, which is 22nd ranked offensive line, trying to protect Josh Allen a little more. They have the 29th ranked strength of schedule. Like I said, this division in total has a strength of schedule because they have to play each other twice.
And play the Cowboys.
And then they play the Cowgirls as well. Go figure. So, but I think they're going to be good. And if you look at their depth chart, which I'm pulling up right now, give me 1 second. It's good. James Cook, Allen, Stephon Diggs. You still got Gabe Davis. Maybe he have a bounce back year. Because I had him last year and he just shit the wet and everything to bed. Got Khalil Shakir, Dawson Knox, Kincaid. That defense, man, Leonard Ford, Matt Milano, Tre'Davious White, Poyer, Micah Hyde, Elam, Von Miller come back this year. See what he got left in the tank. Jack Lawson, Ed Oliver, like I said, DeQuan Jones. This team is built to win again. It's another one of those teams that's going to be right there at the end. I got them going over 10.5, and this is my surprise for everyone. Don't be surprised this team declined just a little bit because I think things can change. They don't have much depth to me. I mean, at the running back position, James Cook, Damian Harris, and you got Latavius Murray, but what does he really have left? But behind Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis, you got Deontay Harden, Trent Sherfield, Keyshawn Johnson, Marcel Atman. If one of those two guys go down, if Stephon Diggs has a high ankle sprain, anything, this team is doomed to me. I don't see another close to number one receiver. Gabe Davis showed us last year that he's not that. He's a stretcher. He gets it done in zone coverages. So we'll see. To me, this team can drop down to second or third in this division this year. So that 10.5, I said over because it's just natural 11-6. It don't sound like the worst record to me. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'll take the over too. I think they're still going to be really good. I mean, since we're on the line, I actually think I'm predicting the Jets to win the division, but to be close between these two teams. Yeah, they should be. I mean, Von Miller's back. I think he'll have a little bit of juice to be motivated. And then also this defense was still really good without both their all-pro safeties missed like most of the season last year. And Poyer.
I mean, I love that coach, though.
Yeah, I don't. That's probably my.
I like his coach.
I don't like. I think they do a lot of questionable things on offense. I think they do. I think they run. I think this team needs to try to run. I think they run as good as they run the ball too much with Josh Allen. I think they need, and he's just. I mean,
I'm with you on that one.
He's a big, strong guy, and he's really good at it. And I get it, but like, and he's gonna run. He's gonna make his plays, but like, I just think they run too many design runs for him too, and it's he's not getting any younger. I'm hopeful that they're going to use a James Cook more this year. James Cook's, the fantasy things. I like James Cook to maybe be like a breakout guy in fantasy this year. But yeah, the receiving, they definitely don't have great receiving depth after Diggs. Gabe Davis was definitely he was a disappointment for most people in fantasy. But I love the tight end. He was a guy I wanted my team to take. Was one of the guys that thought, as I mentioned before, on the other, I think this may be the on one of on the AFC West. This may be the year of the rookie tight end. Dawson Knox is really good, but Dalton Kincaid, they traded up to draft him too. They traded up in front of the Cowboys. Thanks Giants to pick him. So in a trade with the Giants. So I think he's and just because also Josh Allen, Dawson Knox has been healthy, has been a pretty good option because he does like to throw the tight end.
Yeah. Fantasy football, obviously Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, James Cook. I got a question mark. Gabe Davis, would you roster him?
Yeah, I mean he's definitely rosterable. I thought,
I should start saying draftable. That sounds better.
Yeah, he's draftable. I thought I wasn't as high on him as some people were last year, but he's the number 2 receiver for Josh Allen. So he needs to be drafted. Not as high as he was last year, but he should probably be drafted.
And the defense, if you're playing defense,
for sure.
You put this defense on your team. That pretty much wraps it up for the AFC East. That was short and sweet.
So I'm going Jets, Bills, Dolphins, Patriots. I just wanted to make sure I got that in there. The the Patriots. I have them finishing last in this division.
I'm going Miami.
Last. The Patriots are going to finish last. That's what I'm saying. Last in this division.
I'm going Miami, Jets, Bills.
Miami,
Patriots.
Jets, Bills. Wow. You have Miami win the division. Okay. I mean, not that, again, I mean, so if Tua's staying healthy, of course, that's not the.
And I like you said, you picked out that this Miami defense is going to be good. It did take a drop with Jalen, so once
These are fluid too, so they got to make sure you watch the prediction show, so they could change. Especially, I mean, if Dalvin Cook signs with Miami or signs with the Patriots, like, you know what I mean, that would
anything can happen. But the things that we seen before Tua concussion, with how explosive that offense was, it's just going to be hard to stop those two fast guys. And with the speed of Raheem Mostert and Devin Achaney on third down, Tua healthy, I see great things.
Yeah, no, and I said I love the defensive coordinator because that's a big change to me. The defense needs to be a lot better. On paper, it should be Ramsey. Losing Ramsey was big, but the defense should be better with that offense. Like, yeah, I can't blame anybody. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm not doing that if somebody wants to pick the Dolphins. If the only one I would only
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
do that if you were picking the Patriots to win the division. So
That's what I'm doing, damn it. Fuck it.
That's the only even Vegas thinks. I think Vegas between the odds for division to win division this is the closest one by the Vegas odds as well too.
For sure. This is number 8 of 8, man. We made it.
We did it. Look how far we've come.
I know, man. We did it. Like I said, if you stuck it out this far, subscribe, like, follow, and share it with your friends. We got
Tell your friends.
We did every single division the same way. We went through off-season edition, draft picks, PFF ranking, last year rankings. What else? Fantasy, offensive rankings, strength of schedule. We put it out there for you to listen to.
Give everybody as much info on some of these teams as you start to make so you can make your predictions.
Correct. Yeah. So if you got a prediction, y'all betting, fluent betting, and like I said, we got an actual detailed fantasy show coming up soon. We just gave you some of the players that we think you should be draftable on your team, and we're gonna go through it very
more detail. We'll get some more detail into that.
For sure.
Some sleepers, some guys not to draft, and all that kind of fun stuff. And then before the season starts, we'll have our official prediction show. We'll just try to get through most of the preseason. So
I like my new mic stands. They're pretty cool.
They are. This is nice. Get the computer a little closer and stuff.
Yeah, very true. But then we're gonna wrap it up for the AFC East. Let's get this music going, so we can get up out of here. Y'all already know we already end on positivity on any podcast I do, even the LK Sport podcast and the CST podcast franchise or
even after
brand.
The last place Patriots. We'll still.
Hey man, positive. Listen man, we're gonna stay positive over here. That's it. Stay positive. Never know what's gonna happen. Wake up every day, smile on your face, put your best foot forward. Maybe the Cowboys win another championship soon. I mean, they still living in the 90s. So, I mean, maybe this'll be me one day in 2035. I talk about the championships we won in 2012 and 14. I can't think of the dates right now. Just so many. You can pick any year in between there. You're going to get lucky and pick which one we won. So, I love it. I take it on. We're at the bottom right now. Hey, I'm not complaining. We're going to come out. I'm going to wear my jerseys.
It was a good run.
Whatever, sucker. But
I'm saying I'm being serious. It was a good run. That's what he's got. He's got to wear Brady jerseys now. It's the only one worth wearing now.
Anyway, we're gonna turn it around. Mac Jones out of here. We're gonna trade him to the Cowboys, and we're gonna keep it going. But you already know: be humble, live humble, stay humble. And I'm thankful and grateful you listen to the pod. Make sure you subscribe, share with your friends, watch us, listen to us, like us, all that good stuff. Anything else?
No, they said subscribe.
Prediction show, mock draft show, fantasy football show. Another baseball pod coming, college football pod. Next couple times we'll be here, and we'll get a new setup in Texas soon. So you'll be seeing us in Texas. We've been in Texas for a couple of weeks and beginning of September.
Live from Cowboy Country.
Yeah, we are in Austin, Texas. So look forward to that.
That's the horns territory, but close enough.
Very close enough. Like I said, be humble, live humble, stay humble. Thankful, grateful. LK Sport Podcast. I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys.